Joyce Murrell. Thank you for tuning into the news on WJTS. Philip Lee will represent himself at trial for the alleged murder of Richmond police officer Sierra Burton this year. She was shot in the head on August 10th, taken off life support September 1st, and passed away on September 18th. Previously assigned attorney Robert Gevers II has withdrawn as counsel, and Lee filed a motion to serve as his own attorney. The trial will begin on March 7th. 2023 is a municipal election year in Indiana. DuBois County, the cities of Huntingburg and Jasper, the towns of Ferdinand and Holland will elect new leaders. Whether you're a returning Republican municipal official seeking re-election or a Republican first-timer interested in running for a municipal office, this workshop is for you. Head out to the Jasper Train Depot on Thursday, January 5th at 6 o'clock to learn more about what city and town seats are being elected and what it means to be a Republican candidate for those offices. Parents, guardians, and caregivers of children younger than 6 are being encouraged by the health department to have their children tested for lead exposure. Legislation taking effect on January 1st, 2023, House Enrolled Act 1313, requires all healthcare providers who serve children to offer those patients lead testing, ideally at their 1- and 2-year checkups. Children younger than 6 who have never had a blood test should also be tested. Before the new law takes effect, only children covered by Medicaid were required to be tested for lead at 12 and 24 months old. Exposure to lead can cause brain and nervous system damage, along with slowed growth, hindered development, learning problems, behavior issues, hearing loss, speech problems, and other debilitating effects. The majority of lead poisoning in Indiana is caused from peeling or chipping paint once it mixes with dust in the air. Additional common sources for contamination include soil and drinking water, as well as jewelry and clothes intended for children. More information on the dangers of lead poisoning is available at www.indianaleadfree.org. Questions and important health information can be taken to the Indiana Department of Health online at www.health.in.gov. The Red Kettle campaign by the Salvation Army in northern Indiana was down this year due in large part to the winter storm that hit right before Christmas. The organization says they are still taking donations through New Year's Eve online. Less than $600 was raised over the past weekend, far below the average of $8,000 the last 2 days before Christmas. The kettles were out. 11 probationary officers graduated from the 83rd Indiana State Police Academy, among them probationary trooper Austin Collins, who reports for duty to the Jasper District. The French Lick native spent time on the town's police force from December 2019 through July 2022, as well as the volunteer fire department since 2014. Collins continues to serve the United States Marine Corps Reserves with a corporal rank and specializing as a rifleman. He now embarks on a 3-month field training period alongside veteran troopers. Once completing field training, Collins will primarily be patrolling in Crawford County. If you're interested in beginning a career as an Indiana State Trooper, visit indianatrooper.com. Attorney General Todd Rokita announced a $20 million settlement with Google to resolve Indiana's lawsuit against the site for deceptive location tracking practices. The Attorney General filed a separate, independent lawsuit when negotiations between the company and a coalition of state attorney generals stalled. As a result, Indiana received approximately twice as much money as it would have received as part of the settlement that was later reached with the 40 states that did not file lawsuits against Google. Google's deceptive practices became widely known following a 2018 story by the Associated Press. After that story, multiple states began investigating Google's location tracking practices. As detailed in Indiana's lawsuit, Google uses locations data collected from Indiana consumers to build detailed profiles of users in targeted ads. But Google has deceived and misled users about its practices since at least 2014. Attorney General Rakita aggressively pursued litigation against Google because even a limited amount of location data can expose a person's identity and routines. Such data can be used to infer personal details such as political or religious affiliation, income, health status, or participation in support groups, as well as major life events such as marriage and the birth of children. With this settlement, Rakita has ensured that Hoosiers are no longer coerced into trading away their privacy. The Indiana Department of Education announced graduation rates for 2022. Overall, the statewide graduation rate remained steady despite students' continued recovery from pandemic-related disruptions to education. Highlighted areas of success within the yearly graduation rate were demonstrated within several demographics. Black, Hispanic, English learners, special education students, and students receiving free or reduced lunches saw more students graduating this year. State graduation data differs from federal statistics due to a difference of standards. Indiana's federal graduation rate for 2022 was 85.12%, while state success measured 86.61% of students graduating this year. Stay tuned. WJTS will be right back with weather, and Caleb Knepp will have a look at sports.